It does work. All right. Well, happy Friday, y'all. This is your girl, Shetsonique Langston, better known as Neek Speaks. I'm your personal and professional relationship coach. I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference, where we promote wholeness in the areas of singleness, marriage, and family dynamics. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations. We are still doing a preview of our men's and women's summit, which is coming up actually in 29 days. So we have 29 days until the event, and I'm excited. I'm always nervous because I care about what I do, and I want to make sure that I deliver in excellence, and of course have the proper people to come on and to give you guys valuable information, gems to help you navigate in your singleness, your marriage, or even your family. And so tonight we're talking about dating. A lot of people talking about dating, and I have to like hold my mule sometime because a lot of stuff that's out here it cringes my spirit because we are not having the proper conversation about dating, and it's really simple, y'all. But I don't want to go too fast. So tonight I have a returning guest. You guys know who he is. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn over to Loren and go ahead and reintroduce yourself to the people.
Okay, how you doing, everybody? Loren Bryant. I am the creator of the Date Night app from Detroit, Michigan, of course, and I will be speaking at Men's and Women's Summit.
Yeah, so tell people a little bit about the date night app, what it's all about, because I know people when they hear the word date, they think about just a couple. So can you expound on that just a little bit more for the people?
Yes, so it's actually an app that tells you all the places to go in your city. So all the best spots, the best restaurants, the best nightlife spots, the best attractions. It's good for dates. It's good for hanging out with friends or even by yourself. So we're in 7 major cities right now, not just Detroit. So we're in Detroit, Chicago, LA, Dallas, Atlanta, Houston, and now DC. So definitely download it. It's free. Check it out. It's on Google Play and App Store. So
So the magic word y'all heard was free. So I know a lot of people don't like to have so many apps on their phone, but this is one that you really want to use. All right. So I'm not just saying that because it's my boy, but no, y'all need to use the app. Like you said, if you're single, you want to go somewhere, sometimes it's good to just venture out. And so I don't want to go into the whole singleness spiel right now. Y'all need to come to the event about to get more. All right. But I believe that it's important for you all to have it. Those who have families, you want to try a new restaurant, or the cousins want to hang out. You definitely want to tap in the major cities that his app, the location they go to. So you definitely want to tap in and download Date Night app. So tell the people, what made you decide to even create the app in the first place?
well, a lot of great ideas come from complaints. So I got tired of hearing from people that has nothing to do in Detroit, or I would see people go on the same type of dates, the dinner and the movie type of deal. And I also didn't have a hub to where I could say, okay, where can I go at the drop of a hat? I just had a list on my phone and whatnot. So I said, okay, let's make an app that actually tell everybody where to go, because there's actually a lot of things to do. People just don't know about it, and they just don't know where to go. They keep going to the same 5, 6 places. So that's what sparked it. And my older sister actually helped with that as well. So
Shout out to the older sister for spinning the idea. I think it's so important for us to have that support. I know my twin, he supports me. He's always on my head about the next event. Okay, when the next one? What you doing? What? So I'm just like, okay. And like this, this particular event we're doing, in a couple of weeks. Um, a couple of months back, he asked me so many times, like, okay, what's going on? What you doing now, right? And then it comes time for him to sew. He like, oh, can I get on a layaway to my ticket? I'm like, really? So I can't. So no, that doesn't mean y'all can do a layaway plan. No, my brother can because he supports me in every single thing that I do. And of course, I had his back when he was doing his thing. So I believe in supporting your loved ones, especially if they see your heart, know what you're doing behind the scenes. A lot of people don't know what I do, and all the work it takes to put on events. I'm telling you, like Neek does not make money from this. I invest in this, and Lauren not coming for free. Listen, all these people who have insight and gone to school, have their bachelor's degrees and certifications, it all, it's it don't it's not free. Okay, so I don't have people just talking to be talking. I know there are a lot of people who just talking to be talking, having podcasts. That's a whole other conversation. But I just want to say that, listen, we are not here for play. We're here to really impact people. And so we just want to give you guys just a little sneak peek of what's going to happen during the event. And I'm excited about this conversation because dating, it can be complicated when you're making the wrong moves, when you're not being honest and upfront in the beginning, and you're not intentional. You're not making healthy choices when you're on these dates. You're not thinking ahead of time of what you're looking for. And so I did a poll, and so far one person responded. The question was, who is polluting the dating pool the most? Is it men, women, or both? And so one person said both. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think, bro? Like, who is polluting the dating pool the most?
I believe it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely grievances on both sides, and there's things that both men and women can improve. So I would definitely say both men and women.
Okay. So with that being said, what are some things that we can do to change that?
Well, for one, I think people just need to decide what do they really want out of dating, and also just making sure that they have that talk with somebody else as well, so they both on the same page. I think a lot of stuff is just miscommunications, most problems. So
Yes, and like now, right now in social media, a lot of finger pointing is going back and forth with the battle of the sexes, right? And so I'm not about the battle of the sexes. I'm about uniting us. And of course, there are some things we'll agree to disagree on. But one thing I will say is that we were created to do life together. Whether you like it or not, we're created to do life together. And I believe, like you said, you have to know what you want. It's beautiful if you know what you don't want, but it's also valuable to know what you do want and be willing to share that. I think it's important, if you know, when you know what you want, you become that. So, like, people think I'm married because the way I carry myself. And so I think even your singleness is important. Now, how you carry yourself speaks volumes. Like, it does. Like, when I was 19, I think I mentioned it before, a while back when I was on with Louis and Vanessa, and I was just stating that when I was 19, I was dating a guy, and he was like, "Oh, you're wifey material." I was like, "I just know what I want. What do you mean?" Like, I didn't understand what he was saying, but he saw something that I wasn't really aware of yet. But I would say that men know early. Like, you guys know, y'all see, who a woman is when you first meet her. Like, you can tell. And your behavior is going to tell us what the next move going to be. Is it going to be in or not? So what are your thoughts about that?
thoughts in terms of just if we know earlier or not.
Yeah, if you know early enough, like if she's the one, or like if she's like what are your thoughts concerning that? Have you even been with someone that and I'm hope you're being vulnerable right now when I answer this question, ask you this question. Um, you've been with someone who you saw that was ready, or potential, that was moving and progressing in her womanhood and wanting to like move forward in a relationship, but you weren't ready. Like, have you ever been in that position?
I've never been in a position where I wasn't ready. I know that
Okay,
sounds
okay,
crazy, but I
okay.
haven't. But I have noticed women who are, potentially wife material and stuff like that. We do know early. It doesn't take that long. I actually had this conversation on Twitter. We was talking about that on Twitter, but it definitely doesn't take us that long. We're pretty decisive as men in general. We have to be. So
Did y'all hear that? So there are these men that don't be fooled by these ones playing straddling the fence because they know. I feel like when you, when, especially if you call yourself a man of God, oh Lord, I don't want to go there, but we talk about, finding, a mate. Here's the thing. You have to be, you got to be willing to be in a season of singleness. When I mean singleness, like being by yourself to discover exactly what type of person that you want to be with. And that's going to minimize what you're looking for in the dating pool. You won't be in there very long because you now are strategic about how you're dating. And I think like men should, I know some guys don't pray, but I think if you're being intentional, you need to start praying about what type of woman you don't want to attract anymore. Like same thing for women because I don't want to keep attracting the same guy type of guy, right? So I have to start thinking about why am I attracting that same type of dude? What do I have on me that's causing me to continue to do that? Am I keep going to the same spots? What type of mindset do I have? Like, okay, am I gonna always keep giving men like this a chance? Like, you know, it's gonna not gonna end right? So it's like you got to think about what type of people you want to date, and so that it will minimizes what type of people you're gonna deal with in the dating pool because you don't have to date everybody to figure out what you want. Once you know what you want, you're gonna start checking off. Okay, not that person, because you dodging bullets, not taking, not wasting your time because you already know exactly what type of person you want to deal with, and give people a chance. Like that's something else I think a lot of times with women. The man don't have enough money. Like I hear all the time, like women saying, "Oh, we gotta have 100K." Where he gonna be at? Not all men have 100K. Do you have 100K? There those little things I think about. I don't know what are your thoughts.
yeah, you definitely got to give people a chance, especially when you're getting to know somebody because they don't know you. You know you, but they don't know you. So you definitely
Yeah.
have to be open and just let things happen. I think when you try to chase something, it will escape you inevitably. So letting stuff flow to a certain point, you have to do that.
Yes, yes. I feel like dating is a step of vulnerability. Just being a willing to go on a date with someone. You're like, okay, I'm not sure what this gonna be like, but you also just be yourself. Don't put up no front. I can't stand a guy who puts on a show. Please don't do that. I know some because they see what I do, how I operate, and they feel like they have to either compete or try to win me over. You don't ever have to win us over by being someone you're not. Be yourself. That is the simple. For women who operate in purpose, we don't have time for fluff. We want you to be yourself. We are ourselves. Why you can't be yourself? So you see, we're not changing. So that means be your quirky, nerdy self. It's okay. We love you just the same. Like I think we just over complicating the steps of dating. So when we talk about vetting, because I hear that a lot, and I think it's important to vet people in your life. When do you think it's necessary for people to start vetting? Because again, this is a part of the maturity part of dating. Now that we are not dating multiple people, but we might be dating about one or two people. So it's like, how do we start vetting? When should we start vetting during the dating process? What do you think?
I think once you start going on multiple dates with somebody, like maybe the second or third day, it's like, okay, you like them enough. Now it's time to really see what they're about because you obviously have some type of interest. So
Yeah, yeah. And I would say it's crazy. I'm putting myself out here because the last guy I dated, I knew after the first date. Ladies, y'all know it's not so much of a red flag. Sometimes you just know in your spirit, your intuition say, it's not it. He did say something though. Women always listen to what a man is not saying because that's what he's saying. I'm gonna say that again, slow. Always listen for what he is not saying because he is saying, he's telling you, but he's not telling you. Okay. It's always, you gotta always listen to that. I tell women all the time, I tell my students, especially my students who try to lie, I'm like, they're like, how do you know? I have not been a teacher this long, not to know. So when it comes to men or that guy I dated, the first thing he mentioned, I just was like, oh man, I feel like you have to know your purpose. You need to know your purpose in life, to deal with people like myself, to deal with people like Loren. Like if you're operating and doing your thing, you're busy, not busyness, but you're productive because productivity shows receipts. Okay, so I don't want to start preaching about that, but you got people who are busy, but you also have people who are productive. And I feel like when you are maturing and you have a lot going on and you want to date intentionally, you're going to be strategic about your time not being wasted. And so I did find myself, again, over the pandemic, being vulnerable. I know I ain't the only one. I'm going to entertain this. He's convenient. That's exactly what it was. He was convenient. So you have to know, what do you really want? Are you going to allow somebody to keep wasting your time? For me, we're in the season I'm in, like, I can't do that. I can't. I don't have time for it. So I had to let that go. So, ladies, are you willing to when you know it's not the right fit, are you willing to let it go? Or are you going to continue to entertain something that might bite you in the end? That's the question. And the same rules apply for men. Are you going to keep entertaining a woman who's not showing up in the way that you know you're going to need later on in life? That is, that's a hard pill to swallow. But think about it. And I don't. And I was just joking with one of my the hairstylists. I said that there are going to be some people in the dating pool. They're going to be in the pool so long they're going to come out like raisins or prunes. No one's going to want them because they've been in there playing so long that when they decide that they're ready, nobody's going to want them because they've been playing so long. So I mean that's my belief, and I don't know. What are your thoughts, Loren?
As far as people being in too long,
Yeah,
I do believe that you have people that have been in it a long time and they are playing, and then you got some people that's been in it a long time and it's just the nature of the situations that they may have experienced or dealt with, because it does take a little bit of luck or a lot of luck too. So yeah, you have a little bit of both, I think.
yeah. And it's so sad that the older generation, they in the pool too, and some of them are playing, and it's scary. Some of them act like they 30, 25, and they 50, 60 years old, still immature. They're still teenagers because there are some things that were not taught to them early on and they're trying to figure it out. But that's why I said earlier that some things you do gotta take to God in prayer. If you're tired, this conversation is only for people who are tired of being sick and tired of being in the pool. There are people like we just said who are playing. If you want to keep playing the field, keep playing the field because you're gonna be in the nursing home lonely. Just being honest because you play in the field. And then you're gonna look up and wish that you had somebody, a companion. But I really feel like a lot of us had somebody and we missed our opportunity because we weren't ready, we weren't mature, or we felt like the person was gonna be there always. That too. That's a That's a big one. And no, a person's not gonna be there always if you're not ready for that person. So we have to stop complicating the process of dating. Take our time, get to know people for who they are. Be yourself. That's the biggest one. Just being yourself, period, is gonna save you a lot of time and heartache. Because if you can't accept yourself, how can someone else accept you? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you definitely have to be yourself because it's hard to keep up that act after so long. And then once you do that, it's like, oh, this person switched up. Well, no, you just should have been yourself the entire time and they wouldn't think that you switched up.
Yes, I believe in honesty because honesty, it allows me to respect you more. Like I don't care how bad it is. My ex would tell you, him and a few others I was with, I'm not gonna say how many, but they would tell you Neek is the most understanding person ever. Like they would tell any, if they were on here right now, they were like, if I would just listen, yeah, because I want to respect you more. And when you're honest, you're able to work things out. I mean, some people, I get it. People lie because they're trying to protect you and themselves, but that's not always the case. Because sometimes when you lie, now you're looking like no one can trust you. I mean, that's my experience, and I tell my students that too. If you're honest, all right, I can work with that, right? So I don't know. What are your thoughts when it comes to the lying?
Yeah, you definitely have to be honest because you could be holding somebody hostage emotionally too when you lie. So you could be
Ooh,
giving them something that's the only little something they need to hold on. And really, if you just would have been honest with them, they could have accepted reality and just moved on and vice versa. But yeah, so it's
yeah,
very dangerous.
that unforgiveness is different as you get older. Because kids look at it differently. They'll just say, I'm sorry, and brush it off and keep playing. But it's different when you're adults and are you holding a grudge, and that's a whole. I don't want to go into that. Yeah, I come to the conference because I ain't got time to be going over that. But I do want to jump into this part of it. Somebody might need to hear this, especially my men. And we're going to talk about this a little bit deeper at the event. And it's again the women's summit is going to the men's and women's summit. Excuse me, is going to be at the Southfield Marriott here in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. It's going to be October the 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we only have about 7 seats left. So again, we're going to be hosting our event at the Southfield Marriott. So if you want tickets, you can definitely go to the website. The link is down in the description below of this video. So I want to ask you, what is one word of advice to a man or a woman? I will say men because of what recently happened with a young lady. She was on the shade. It was in the shade room. This young lady got hit with a brick because she wouldn't give up her number. And I think we kind of touched on this before about giving out numbers. And so she actually had a concussion. The crazy part about this um incident, because she recorded, after the aftermath, um, there were a lot of other men around. Um, and he just hit her with the brick and ran to his car and drove away. But no one stopped him from getting the brick. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. I'm not sure if that was Atlanta or Florida. It was
It's
somewhere. I know it
recent.
was somewhere south. But what are your thoughts or words of wisdom to men who may lack confidence even in the face of rejection?
I would say it's always somebody else, and you'll be surprised that you'll find something better as well. So, in order to be confident, you just got to keep improving on yourself and make yourself better, give yourself a better chance. You got to give yourself a chance. You can't just go into the dating game like anything else and just say, this is it. Like, you have to work on that just like you work on your craft, just like you work on anything else. And if you do get rejected, know that's not somebody for you. You don't want somebody that doesn't want you, right? So
Oh, that is so good. And I want to just speak to the little boy in a man right now. You are desirable. You are wanted. You're needed at such a time as this. Just it's time for you to heal from whatever traumas that you received as a child, because that's what's keeping you from experiencing the love and support from the right woman. So I want to say sorry to whoever. I'm not sure why I'm here. I'm saying this right now, but to whoever needs to hear this, who's a man, I'm speaking to the little boy in you. That we are sorry that you went through what you went through, but do not allow that experience to keep you from respecting women who are coming into your life that you're encountering on a day-to-day basis, because they were not with you when those things happened to you. And so I want you to be mindful of how you treat those women, because the more you continue to dwell in that space, you would never be a safe space for a woman to even want to be bothered with you. So I pray that you heal from those traumas so that you can become the safe space for yourself and for your future spouse. So I hope that helps somebody what I just said, along with what Loren said. So you are definitely, if this touched you, you might want to come to the event. This type of stuff going down and more during the Men's and Women's Summit. Than just 29 days. So I cannot believe it came so fast. Oh my gosh, there's been so much happening. Which is it's kind of ghetto, but we here. Okay. We are here pouring into the people. Again, I'm excited. And I appreciate you, Lauren, taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. Listen, y'all, we tired. It's Friday,
yeah.
and we got a lot going on. So, if you all want to come, if anything that we said resonated with you, you definitely want to tap in with us. We have 7 more spots available at the Men's and Women's Summit on October 7th. That's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, Lauren, thank you so much. Was there, you want to tell people why they should attend this summit before we wrap it up?
Yes, the reason you should attend this summit is because you have people that are not just talking about things like just a regular podcast. They're actually either living this or they're actual experts in these different areas. So you're gonna get a mix of everything. It's not just one topic, it's not just dating, it's not just marriage, it's not just relationships. It's a myriad of different things. And it's people that are really real life experts that know what they're talking about and they're gonna give it to you raw and honest, which I know you guys want. So definitely it's in.
Yes. And listen, we're not only are we going to pour, and this is not a podcast, like you said, no, this is not that. This is not that. We are here to give you resources. When you leave this place, the event, you're going to be able to walk away with tangible resources and things you can use outside of the conference. That's the whole point of us doing our conferences and events every single time. So it's not just we come in to break bread, eat, laugh, cry. It's not just no, it's not. This is not that. You guys will be able to also take notes and use the tools that the experts are bringing to you on a day-to-day basis. How do I know? Because I am the product of what I do. I live and breathe healthy relationships. And so again, it's hello, the evidence is here because Loren is a returning speaker. So I am doing something right. I gotta be doing something right in order for people to still want to, do business with me, life. Okay, they don't have to be helped do anything. No one has to do anything. And I'm grateful for every single person from the past into this point who's been rocking with me. It has not been an easy journey, but again, thank you all so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. And any final words to the people before we head out?
Like I said, just to attend the conference, man. I mean, the seats are going quick. So, like I said, the last one was definitely a lot of information that I didn't even know. It was a lot of information I didn't know. So, you will definitely benefit from it. in whatever area that you lacking in, you'll definitely see it. So
yes. Well, there y'all have it. Well, thank you guys so much. Listen, we'll be back next week. Ladies and gentlemen, you definitely want to listen in on one of our other doctors. She's a doctor. Her name is Dr. Paige Kimber. She's an OBGYN at Henry Ford Hospital right here in the city of Detroit. And she's going to be talking about the sex. Okay, and I'm excited to hear what she's going to drop because there's a lot of stuff that, again, that we are not doing, we don't know. Things change over time, and so if you have skipped sex ed like I did, you definitely want to tap in, okay, to this conversation. So if you slept in that class, you need to be up here in this conversation. That's a whole other conversation. All right, y'all, we out. Thank y'all so much, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.